What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Lifeissmary, you all. Today I am back with another video of me. Well, you guys are just going to kind of see me make this modest dress that I actually made for my birthday. As you guys know, I have been on this 90-day journey to get my college body back. Now that I have attained that, I actually wanted to create a wardrobe that will go with my new figure. So this was one of the I think the 10 or 12 outfits that I ended up making for my new wardrobe for my birthday. So I did not have time to record this, which I really wish I had more time to really go in depth about this. So you guys aren't going to see a really in-depth tutorial. You're just going to kind of see a bit of the process, which I will talk about some of it. But then I think I also will kind of back it up with a little bit of a story time for those who don't really know me as a fashion designer, but you kind of maybe came to this channel, you know, on other reasons or by other videos. But here you guys are just seeing me basically cut out the fabric. I'm just cutting out different parts of the fabric so I know which part is going to be for the skirt, for the sleeve, and for the bodice, for the dress. So obviously the most important part of sewing is definitely getting your measurements, getting that all figured out, and then also sectioning out your fabric, especially if you are working with limited amount of fabric, which I really wasn't. But you know, I always love to keep some extra fabric if I really love the color for another project. So that's what you guys are seeing me do here now. But I don't know how I'm going to do this whole story time thing. So I'm like, do I go to story and then talk to you guys about what I'm doing? I guess I will. But yeah, for those who don't know, I have been a fashion designer since I was like 10, maybe 8, really. It really runs in my family. You know, my grandma, my mom, my great-grandma, my great-grandma, my great-great-granddad, and everybody in my family were really known to be seamstress or tailors. You know, it's just something that runs in the family. So of course, somehow, some way, it got passed down onto me as well. So I actually took a liking to fashion designing when I was around 8 or 9. And I actually started by sewing little t-shirts for my stuffed animals, which I had a pug. I can't remember what the pug name was, but it was like this stuffed animal pug. And I would use my brother's t-shirts to actually sew shirts for the stuffed animal that I had. Little detour. What I'm doing here is I'm using an old pattern for the whole to make the top. I'm using an old pattern that I had. You know, I recycle a lot of my patterns, especially because I haven't been able to find pattern paper here in Tanzania. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm simply cutting it out. This pattern has pretty long darts that go from the waist to the nip. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just pinning it, and I'm going to cut the top and the back using this pattern. But yeah, back to the story. Yeah, I started fashion designing around that time, and that's how I got really into it. I also was drawing a lot. Before I actually even started sewing anything, I actually started drawing. I used to draw buildings. I used to really want to be an architect, but then I decided, you know, I got more into drawing pretty dresses and stuff like that. So that's how I originally started with drawing. And then I started cutting out my brother's t-shirts to make these little clothing for my stuffed animals. And it kind of, truthfully, just kind of took off from there. My grandmother was the one who taught me how to sew. You know, she's no longer here with us. You know, rest in peace, Grandma. But she was the one who taught me how to sew, as well as my nanny. You know, my mom, she was a single mom, so she would come and help me sew from time to time and, you know, teach me some things when she could. Because she also was a fashion designer herself. She even had a fashion show in New York City. One time, no, she actually had it in Charlottesville, Virginia. And she had a lot of major people come to see her from New York. They literally flew down just to see her fashion design. So that's kind of where it started for me. But throughout my life, I never really knew what I wanted to do with fashion designing. Because, I mean, I just was lost, especially, well, for one, I knew I wanted to create pretty clothes for women, but I was like, what more do I want to do besides just create pretty outfits for women, you know? So I really was kind of lost in college for sure, but, you know, I always kind of struggled with, you know, my religion and then also dressing. I felt kind of I guess guilty, I would say, because I didn't always dress up the way I felt like I should. But then again, I wasn't like super close to Allah at the time and everything. I knew that I should have a relationship with him, but I was never like religious. I didn't know all the ins and out of my religion. But I knew about the spiritual part of it, which for me really is just about talking to Allah, making him your best friend, going to him whenever you are in, bad times, good times, just continue to go to him. So that was really the basis of my relationship with God. So I kind of struggled with what I wanted to do because, one, I knew for sure that God gave me the gift of fashion designing. That was never a question in my mind whatsoever. It never has been. I also knew he gave me the gift of painting. So that also was never a question for me, that's what he wanted me to do. But I never knew what he wanted me to do, like what my purpose in life was. But I knew I had these incredible talents passed on from Allah and then also passed on from my grandmother as well. So I struggled. It wasn't until, I guess maybe my sophomore year of college when I was really into my fashion designing classes that we had to start doing research about a certain fashion project where, you have to come up with the concept, the theme, the designs and everything. And, I decided that I would try to research into modest fashion. And that's when I started looking online about it. Here I am actually, quick detour from the story. This here, I am actually cutting out the lining for my dress. I cut out a lining for just the top part of it. I didn't cut out a lining for the skirts. So as you guys can see, I've already sewn the lining to the neckline of it. And I am just going to attach the front to the back. So that's what you guys are going to see next. But yeah, back to the story. So I started doing research on modest fashion because for me, I just never really wanted to dress modestly just because, one, I wasn't comfortable, dressing modestly. It wasn't my thing. I always felt my prettiest when, I wasn't dressed modest. But I started looking at modest fashion and I was like, I just thought that modest fashion would be boring. There's nothing really that you can wear or whatever and stuff. And I'm just like, listen, I'm a fashion girly. I am not going to be here wearing no frumpy clothing and walking around. That just wasn't me. So when I went to SCAD, it really opened up my eyes to modest fashion and different outfits that Muslims could wear, which, I'm so grateful to Allah for all the Muslimas out there who are fighting against the haram police and are still out there showing that modesty can still be beautiful and you can still look beautiful as a Muslim woman. The first influencer that I actually knew about was Laced Jordan. And I was just like, wow, game changer. She looks so good, but she's covered head to toe. And she looks phenomenal. And that was when I, as I got more into my career. Oh, here, as you guys are seeing, I am just sewing everything together. Basically the arm, the sleeve, and the bodice of the dress. But it was then that when I started looking into more influencers, I think even Shahada Batel I saw, Ayasha Haran, I think. There was just so many of them that I was just like, wow, I finally saw a new world of modest fashion. And, as I got more into my fashion designing career when I was in college, I realized that I really wanted to create beautiful, top quality, like couture outfits for Muslimas, ready to wear couture, I just wanted to do it all for Muslim women. And that's how I realized that my niche really was in modest fashion. And my senior collection actually ended up being a really beautiful high couture. It was all in denim, all hand dyed. I made all of those outfits, really as I guess just to celebrate the beauty of Muslim women and all of their struggles and, the fact that we can still look beautiful, modest. So that was my senior collection. But I knew that one day I definitely want to be a renowned fashion. Well, I am a renowned fashion designer. Okay. I definitely want to, be a renowned fashion designer and be known for making Muslim women feel and look beautiful. And I wanted to do it at the highest possible level because truthfully, I just have not seen, shout out to all the Muslim fashion designers out there for sure. But I just have not seen anybody do modest fashion the way that I know I can do it. So for me, that is where I found my purpose as a fashion designer. So yes, I do, my specialty is modest fashion, but obviously I sew other outfits as well. But for me, I think that's what I definitely want to be known for. But yeah, that's just my little story time of how I found my purpose as a designer and what I do. But this was actually the finished outfit. I actually was going to wear this outfit for Juma prayer, which my birthday was on a Thursday. Juma was on a Friday, obviously. And I was actually going to wear this, but I actually needed to make an abaya because it is a little bit form-fitting. But I wanted to wear it. I wanted to sew an abaya to go on top of it just so it gives more coverage. But I did not have time. Between the other 12 outfits I was making, I did not have time. So when I make the unique abaya, I will definitely show you guys and everything. But yeah, y'all, this is what I made for my birthday. This is one of the 10 or 12 outfits I made. I absolutely love this outfit. And I look forward to making more. You know, I am going to Juma almost every Friday now. So now I have, you know, more motivation to go and broaden my Muslima closet. I don't have enough Muslim outfits, honestly, but now that I have strengthened my relationship with Allah and I am now going out more to Muslim events and I'm going to Juma, I now have more reasons to actually make more Muslim outfits. So you guys will definitely be seeing that more from me and everything. But yeah, I think I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to see if I can insert my Muslim collection that I made for my senior year of college in here so you guys can just see what I do. But yeah, y'all, that is just my dream and my goal, you guys. But one step at a time. It's not an easy journey and it's not a quick journey to getting to where you want to be and achieving your dreams. But that is one of my biggest dreams. To have my own fashion house, you know, to be a renowned fashion designer and to be the best to ever do it when it comes to modest fashion for Muslimas or just women who want to dress modestly, period. Everybody's journey to modesty is different and everybody goes at their own pace, but I want to be able to make clothing for women in any and every part of their journey of modesty, because we don't just get up one day and we're wearing a burqa. Like some of us, we're wearing some tighter fitting clothing, then we get looser and then we learn more about Islam and then we're like, okay, we can't do this, we shouldn't do this, or we have to get better at it. But it's all a journey. So, you know, my brand Tynnetta, which is my middle name and is also the name of a very honorable woman that was in the Nation of Islam. My brand Tynnetta, really, that's what it's representative of. So I will be showing you guys more about that. I did used to have a website. I'm going to try to get it back up. But yeah, y'all, that's just a little story time. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Comment down below what some of your dreams are. Are you still on the journey, or are you in a 9-to-5 while still trying to do your other work to achieve your dreams? Just let me know, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye. I love you guys, and these are just the pictures I took. I will definitely show you guys when I have the abaya all together. Bye bye.
What is modesty to you?
Modesty is my strength. It's my reminder. It's what makes me have confidence when I walk into a room. Honestly, it's my superpower.